And hello, movie lovers, and welcome to the show. So today I have my good friend and co-host Rossie with me. I have the man, the myth, the legend, Joshua Prey, comedy comedian. It's awesome to have him on here talking about what does black cinema means to us. I really love this idea that Josh pitched to us because I think this is actually the perfect month to be able to talk about black cinema. What does it mean to everybody and stuff like that. So let's go on ahead. Let's get into it. I'm excited to be here. I know you
Yes.
guys are too. Let me find my button so I can go ahead and do my intro. And here we go. And hey, Josh, welcome back.
What is up, king and queen, on this marvelous occasion of a day?
Now you see, now you made my day. No, my wife don't even call me king, so that helps me right there.
Well, I gotta take that back. I can't be calling you things your wife don't call you now. I gotta not. Come on, man. Don't do me like that, Joe. What's
But
up, though? How's everybody doing? Let's talk about it. I think this is a great subject. I'm excited to pick John's brain apart. You know how that go.
right. Uh, Rossi, you're mute for me.
You meet.
I wanted to
Are
start
dog.
off. Sorry. I wanted to start off before we get the conversation going. I wanted people to know that there are many different eras in Black history cinema. So I'm going to start off with the first era, which is the early resistance. That was from 1898 to 1971. It was Black filmmakers created independent production companies to bypass mainstream racism, producing films like Within Our Gates and Regeneration. Within Our Gates was 1920. Regeneration was in 1923. Those were two prominent films at the time that did very well. And then we move into the Black exploitation wave, which was the 1970s. And this was a genre of independently produced films that featured Black protagonists overcoming the man, iconic titles including Shaft, Foxy Brown, so many more. And then we have the new wave, and that's the 1980s through the 1990s. So we have directors like Spike Lee, John Singleton, which brought urban realism and social commentary to the mainstream with Do the Right Thing, Boys in a Hood. And then finally, the era that we're in right now is called the modern watershed era. This is from the 2010s to present. So it's a surge in diverse genres, from the horror satire of Jordan Peele's Get Out to the historic box office success of Ryan Coogler's Black Panther. So that's just a little history of the different eras that we have in Black history, you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't even. Thank you for.
I didn't even know
No.
that. She educated me on this
Yeah,
when
Yes.
I never knew the definition of black exploitation. So thank you so much for breaking that down for me. And now I
course.
no longer am ignorant to it. For sure.
But
Yeah.
I know that you mentioned a comedy to me, Josh, that
Yeah.
called Boomerang with Eddie Murphy.
Yes, sir. One of the
And I
greatest comedies ever.
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Yes.
And let me tell you this, man. Like I remember renting this from the video store like at age 9 or 10. And let me tell you this, my mom said this because she loves Eddie Murphy. And this is what she winds up saying to me. She winds up saying, "Oh, I can't. No. That's a dirty movie. How could?" I'm like, "What's so dirty about it?" I didn't understand. And then, she wouldn't let me watch it or anything.
Right.
And then I go on ahead. I go to Blockbuster, and no, I take that back. I went on ahead and I started watching it on USA. But is it the edited and condensed one, not the
Right.
one that she's seen? And then I'm like, I realized then it wasn't until maybe college, and that's when she winds up. Whenever I wind up finding out what the big deal was. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I loved when Boomerang came out. I was a fan of Halle Berry, Eddie Murphy films. Really good. So Boomerang, for a young girl, it was just the love story with Robin Givens and Eddie Murphy, and their back and forth. And then you have Halle Berry, who's like the good girl, but he doesn't want her because he wants someone like Robin Givens, whose character at the time was like, a bro. She was basically a bro. The movie was funny. They did such a good job. we got introduced to a lot of new comics at the time that was in the movie, and that's what I loved about Eddie Murphy's films, was that he always brought in like Richard Pryor or Red Fox, with Harlem Nights. But Boomerang was great. I've seen it so many times, and it's always just a really funny, good movie.
I'm sorry, I got interrupted. I usually have my things on airplane mode. I'm sorry, I apologize.
It's okay.
So let me guess, because I just got in at the end of Rossie. You're breaking down why you love Boomerang, correct?
Right.
So
Yeah.
here were some things I didn't know. So I actually had a reaction. I did a reaction to Boomerang, I think December, maybe late November, but December, maybe January. I don't know. But when I did the reaction, the director of Boomerang actually reposted and reshared my video, and we shared a couple DMs together. I told him he was great, whatever. I did not know the same director actually directed House Party as well.
Really?
I had no idea he directed House Party 1.
Okay.
Furthermore, although the story, albeit the story was great, my video that I did, I was praising Eddie Murphy for having, and Rossie, this is all due respect because you're a woman and I want you to be respected, but having a beautiful roster of women that has never been seen like that.
Right.
Pretty much in Black cinema since then. Like in that movie, he had Robin Givens.
Yeah.
Tisha Campbell, who was Gina on Martin, was the crazy lady, which was a side character.
That's right.
Yep.
She was a side character outside the house. Oh my gosh, why am I going blank right now? Is it Grace Jones?
Grace Jones, yeah, she was in there. She was that wild lady, yes.
He had Grace Jones cursing in a movie about being turned down.
Yes.
Every woman in that, I think Boomerang did a phenomenal job at showing the sex appeal and the power and prowess of women. I love that it didn't play on a lot of Black tropes of this is the ugly friend. They didn't do that at all. Every woman was beautiful and successful in their own right. Eddie Murphy was just so debonair, and that was probably my introduction. Because I rewatched it as an adult. And that was my introduction to, like, I really hated Robin Givens. She was the villain in that movie. And I think they did a phenomenal job of, like, making men hold a mirror to their face, because there was a scene in that movie where she stood him up and she didn't come through, and she went to his apartment and she had on something sexy, and his feelings were hurt. His feelings were hurt. And he was like, no, don't touch me. I waited for you. And she gave him those eyes, and she put it on him, and she left him $200.
That's right. That's right.
Yep, I remember that.
That's right. He's laying in the bed with the blanket up to him because he realizes that the roles that change. And this is a Playboy. So, and like you said, he looked beautiful in the film. I mean, he was absolutely beautiful. And being a young girl at that time, you didn't see a film with so many beautiful Black women, I didn't see that. So to see, like, even Robin Givens and Halle Berry, Grace Jones, and all the Eartha Kitt, I think she was in it as well. Just different. Yeah, she was in it.
Eartha Kitt.
Yeah, and it was like different levels of Black women, from older, middle-aged to younger Black women, and they were all different colors, sizes, and they were beautiful. And as just a young woman, it was just, you fantasize, and you wanted someone like Eddie Murphy, at that time. So they did a good job. And I thought it was an Eddie Murphy directed film, and I did not know that. So I'm happy that you brought that up, because you think it's Eddie Murphy.
Now, he was integral, him and the director, that he was integral in the writing of the film, but it was directed by the same gentleman, Hudson, the same gentleman that directed the first House Party.
Okay.
Yep.
When you go back and look at House Party, it's cool because first came Boomerang, then House Party, and Martin and Gina were in that movie as well.
Right.
Opposites of each other, which they became a couple on one of the greatest sitcoms ever.
Yes.
But I wanted to talk to you guys about. I already talked to Rossie about this, but Josh, the reason here's what happened to me at 9 or 10 years old. I rented this movie because I love Eddie Murphy. My mom, on the other hand, she was like, "I'm gonna watch this before you do, because I want to make sure that the content's okay, right?" So the next morning, I wake up I said, "Well, where's the movie from Blockbuster? You're not watching that disgusting movie. That movie's just disgusting. It's filthy. You're not going to watch it." I'm like, "What's so filthy about it?" "Oh, I'm just not going to get into it. You don't even want to know. You don't even understand."
Yep.
I'm like, "When am I not going to understand?" "Don't worry about it. You don't." And then so fast forward to a couple of years later, I'm watching it on USA, which is edited for TV, which I don't
Worse.
get the same experience as the unedited version. So
Uh-huh.
either way it goes, I'm seeing a PG-13 version, basically, Boomerang. I told her this. I said, "There's nothing wrong with this movie." She goes, "What are you watching?" "I'm watching that disgusting movie that you do not want me to watch." When I was like 9 or 10 years old, I'm 13 now. She's like, "I don't remember that." I'm like, "I do." And then so I'm like, then once I got into high school or my college days, I watched it unedited, and here's the thing, I love the smoothness of Eddie Murphy's character and
Debonair.
stuff. Yep,
Yeah.
the debonair that you mentioned.
Yeah.
I love the whole entire thing of like he goes into this being this guy that is all put together. He winds up having one night stands with different women, and then the roles are reversed, like you said, and it just gives him layers to that character that I don't think anybody else would be able to do. And yes, I do love the fact that it's these beautiful, gorgeous women of color
Yeah.
that are being presented, and it's women that you would actually fantasize to want to be with. Just
Yes.
and not
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
that, but also the way that women look at Eddie, we also want to be with these women as well.
Yes.
So that's something that I really loved about that. And then the different age ranges between even with
Yeah.
the male and female people that are black. I love the
Right.
fact that you have John Witherspoon in this. Not only that, Eartha
Yes.
Kitt. You
Yes.
have different levels of men that are middle aged, young, and then you also have women of the same way as well. So everybody is equally on equal grounds and equal playing field, which is something I really love about
Also,
Yes.
I
that.
want to mention that, in the film, we talked about Martin. If you remember, Eddie Murphy's best friends was Tommy from Martin.
Yep.
It was
Yes.
Martin that was his best friend,
And
and it
David
was
Allen
the
Greer.
guy from In Living
Yep.
Color, David. I think
David Allen Greer.
David Allen. Yes, and if you remember, they always did the hug thing where they come in and do the hug. Well, remember if you watch Martin, how did he and his boys hug? They exactly.
Exactly.
So a lot of them, like you said, the director who directed House Party, a lot of them that was in Boomerang, that was in House Party, end up being on Martin. And a lot of those extras end up being on Martin's show. So
Mhm.
Yep.
that was a big deal at the time that, you got all this talent from, Boomerang and House Party. And then you see them on Martin doing kind of the same things that they had in Boomerang, which was that bro love.
Now I will say this before we go to the next movie, real quick. Looking at the movie, because once you look at movies, we always want to play multiverse because of this comic book stuff. And I was like, who else could have played the Eddie Murphy character? And me personally, I definitely think I would absolutely love today for that exact same movie to be remade with like a Michael B. Jordan.
Oh,
Mm.
yeah.
Like
Oh,
chasing,
yeah.
yeah, like and I would like for Tiana Taylor to be the Robin Givens character, like
Yeah.
that
Oh,
Yes.
villain.
that would be perfect. Yes.
So I definitely think that could be remade, and we don't, and we can. I know people get tired of Hollywood remaking the same things, but I do think, just particularly for Black cinema, I do think certain classics can be remade, and seeing Michael B. Jordan hold a blanket to his face while
Right.
Tiana Taylor walks out and leaves him an Apple gift card or something in today's
Yes.
day and
Yeah.
age
Right. Yeah.
would be remarkable. That would be hilarious. For
Leave them
sure,
some
for sure.
Bitcoin.
Yes, like send him a
You know what I
Bitcoin
mean?
text message.
Right.
No, I could see that. And, after seeing Michael B. Jordan, in Sinners and the different sides of him, yeah, you could definitely
I can
see him
see.
playing, Eddie Murphy's role in Boomerang.
Yes,
Yes. And Tiana
yes,
Taylor, I mean, yeah, she could do that Robin Givens role. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I would love it.
Yes. I could see that.
But yeah, I wouldn't mind Morris Chestnut playing that role though too.
I think he's too old.
Yeah,
Yeah, I could see that now,
yeah,
but yeah. So I definitely Michael B. Jordan then, because since this is actually the new age and new era, and
right.
he has that box office draw, I would have to
Yes.
And
say
he
that.
just fit. I just feel like he can be a womanizer on
Yes.
screen,
Yeah,
just on screen. I just feel like he's very
he can dive into
charismatic.
that, do
Yeah,
on
he
that
Yes,
can.
level.
I would love to see that. No, I don't want a comedian in that role because comedian is like today's, I'm considered a comedian, and, and majority of comedians are social media. I would want to
Right.
see a person that's not a comedian become comedic.
Right, I can see that because here's the thing with with your job is tough, Josh. Like we live in the age of like having to set the joke up and stuff like that, and trying
Yeah.
to work the joke in. Because of
Mm-hmm.
social media today, you have to be quick with it, otherwise you lose the audience. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that even in a movie like that, and we have just a regular comedian in there, you're
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
gonna lose the people really quick.
Quickly, quickly,
So
quickly.
so yeah. So what do you have for yours though, Josh?
What'd you say?
What do you have as far as your next movie that you want to go into?
Oh, it's my turn. We're skipping Rossi.
Okay, yeah, let's go with Rossi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
I want to keep it
You
jumping.
know,
Yeah.
I loved the urban movies that happened in the 90s to John Singleton. And I remember seeing Boys in the Hood for the first time. Never seen a film like that as far as black film. I mean, in the 70s, you had Cooley High and all that, but this was something different. And to shed a light on what's going on in Southern California, you know, Compton area, South Central, it was, and to see someone like Ice Cube, who I'd never seen before in a movie other than his music, I I fell in love with the film, and I think everyone did. I mean, I was introduced to Angela Bassett, Lawrence Fishburne, Cuba Gooding Jr. This movie is put together so well, and he told such a good story about everyday life in Southern California, the gang life. It was so good. We got so many, Ricky, you know what I mean? There's so many, certain scenes that they, quote today as if it was Friday. John Singleton did a good job. What did you think about the film? What did you think about the story of a young man that had a mom that was, doing well in a business world, sends him off to go live with his dad, who lives in not the best part of Southern California, and him growing up as a young man and coming into manhood? What did y'all
I
think about that story?
I so I was born in 1984, so I was very young. Shouldn't have been watching that movie. Like I shouldn't have been watching South Central. Shouldn't have been watching Boys in the Hood or Men's Society. But the thing about Boys in the Hood and what resonates in the Ricky scene will go down in cinema history
Yes.
as one of the most heart
Mm,
crushing, gut wrenching scenes in history.
yes.
The movie was, it was extremely raw and it was relatable. And what made the movie so relevant was it showed your hood wasn't no different than my hood. I'm from a small town called Immokalee, Florida, where in the early 90s, Immokalee, Florida had one of the highest, not one, had the, if not one of, well, I believe the highest HIV population rate in the United States of America. So disparity, poverty ran rampant in the town that I'm from. Of course, it's phenomenally better. It's extremely low now, but the movie was very relatable. Seeing junkies, seeing dead bodies, um, having that one
Mm,
mega star being able to make it out in my city.
yeah.
The first one to really make it out was Edgerrin James. He's an NFL Hall of Famer right now. But just having that one guy that the city like pushed to go do something great in the community, surrounded that person and championed that person. We didn't really we was a small town, so the drive-bys wasn't a thing, but gang violence was a thing. It was Black Americans versus Latino Americans or Haitian Americans, because the Haitian population
Mm.
had just migrated into the area where I'm from in South Florida. So it was a lot of that. The movie was very raw, very real, and very relatable. My favorite character in the movie probably was Ice Cube, because
Yes.
he was the half not, he was the black sheep. But when you look at the film from a different perspective, he was definitely probably the one with the most love and most compassion,
Yeah.
and the one that was most willing. When one drive-by was about to happen, he was the person to say, "Hey, get him in the house,
Yeah.
get him up the porch." Talking about the guy in the wheelchair.
Yep.
Um, he wanted to be something for his mother,
Yeah.
and his mother hated him because he wasn't Ricky. So
Right.
that movie definitely touched me in a place where other films couldn't.
Right.
let's see, for me, it wasn't until like junior high whenever I first watched it. I remember seeing posters and Blockbuster and the VHS tape and stuff like that. I was born in '85, so I had no business even watching this movie either at an early age or anything like that either. So watching it in junior high is a whole different perspective because I think the teacher wanted us to learn about the life of the streets in a sense,
Yeah.
but through the eyes of Ice Cube and stuff like that. It's like, hey, look, if you go down this road, there's two roads you can that you can go on. You can either go to the life of this, or you can go to the life of the other way of going to college, having a life, and things like that. Because we had kids that were more my age that was going out there being part of gangs and stuff like that. So on that level, I think that movie has a huge impact as far as a young audience in junior high and trying to figure out who they are, just as how Ice Cube, I believe, is trying to figure out who he is and wanting to do the right thing and trying to be able to be a good friend to somebody else that's not in the gang life either. So I think that it also is a representation of certain people going through certain things that are relatable as far as a kid in junior high.
Yeah.
So that's something that I really have to say that stuck with me. And then, I love every single actor in this movie. I think they do a fantastic job in this movie. I think it actually captures what everything was like in those days though too. And I like the fact that the scenery, and the filmography, what I'm saying, the filmography and stuff like that. Cinematography. Thank you, Josh. I think that they captured everything right. You actually do feel like you're right there in the room with Ice Cube as he's breaking things down to Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character and stuff. Everything about this movie is just fantastic. There's a life lesson to be learned in this movie. This movie is still quotable today, like Rossie said.
Yeah,
I'll turn it on if I'm like editing a podcast or something and stuff like that. If I need something to, just have on the background for me, just to relax and just to do what I do. But I do love watching the movie though.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question. And this the reason I brought this subject matter, because I thought it would be dope to hear a perspective from a Caucasian male, right?
Okay.
As a Caucasian man, what's your nationality?
I'm Italian.
Italian. My Italian video has been going crazy.
You're welcome.
But for the sake of the conversation,
okay.
As an Italian American, Caucasian male, right? Because you're not black, you're Caucasian, whatever. Did the movie give you any negative perceptions of people of color when you watched it?
Not for me. I mean, here's the thing with me. I was taught not to judge other people or anything like that. And I was like, this is everyday life for somebody else and stuff. So that's the way I saw it. It was like something for me is like, I can't say that I can relate to it, but I can say this. Just because I'm not going through it does not mean that somebody else isn't. And this is everyday life that somebody else sees. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And that's how I looked at it. Is like, this is what they're going through. This is what it's like in the ghetto of Los Angeles.
Right.
In the inner city, yeah.
In the inner city of it and stuff like that. So I'm like, this is everyday life for them. And it makes me feel like, as a Caucasian male, Italian male at that, I'm sitting here watching it and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I don't have it as bad as someone else does.
A lot of us thought that. Even the ones that lived in the inner city, I was definitely thinking like, I don't never have to pick my brother up, put him on the couch while he's bleeding out. So
right.
You weren't alone in those thoughts.
Yeah. Same here. I mean, seeing that, my brother wasn't in gangs. We grew up in the suburbs. So seeing that also for me was a look at something that, you see on like, headline news at night, if you hear about what's going on, but the way that he put it in the story was really good. And I also like the fact that, you see with Ice Cube's character, Doughboy, you see why they run to the streets when you have gang members talk about, it's family. I just want family. This is my family because I don't have that at home.
Yes.
And you see what Doughboy went through with his mom, hating him, disliking him. His boys was his family,
Mm-hmm.
And then, he meets Trey, who has a mother, who has a father. They're divorced, but he has a father at home. And you see how the different households are ran, with Doughboy, who has a mom who can't stand him, with Ice Cube's father, who is trying to teach him, trying to teach Trey, you do not want to end up like your friends, you know? And of course, Trey, living in that neighborhood, you know, even though he comes from probably a better home, you know, he still has to go out there in that neighborhood and make it and fit in. And so, you know, Doughboy gives him that guide to, you know, LA, you know, the inner city.
I agree. I like the tape. I got you, Ross.
Thank
I got
you.
you, Rossie.
Thank you. Thank
Okay,
you.
so the first film I would talk about that struck me, it was came out in 1999. At this point, I was a young adolescent boy. I understood what sex was and all this stuff, and that's when you was trying to find yourself in regards to like your friend groups. It's a movie called The Best Man, directed by Malcolm Lee.
Oh yeah.
Malcolm Lee also worked on films, and it's funny because The Best Man is such a dramatic, suspenseful film. He's known for his comedic films, Girls Trip, Undercover Brother, In the Barbershop, The Next Cut. But The Best Man was a film that, again, it had a group, and I'm pretty sure Rossie and you're familiar with the Rat Pack,
Yep.
Yes.
the group of
Yep.
men that I was worked together. Well, in
Yep.
Hollywood, at a certain point, it was a group called the Black Pack, and that
Right.
consisted of Morris Chestnut, Sanaya Lathan,
Yep.
Omar Epps, uh, um, oh my gosh, light skin, green eyes. Why am I going blank?
Oh my God. Oh,
He was in the first Iron Man.
oh my
Oh,
God.
Husband
Terrence
and
Howard.
Flow.
Terrence
yep.
Howard.
Terrence Howard,
Yeah.
Nia Long.
Yes.
They all worked on separate films. Like they worked on that film, and then a lot of them worked in the movie The Wood together. Then some of them played in
Yes.
two can't play that game together. But
Right.
The Best Man, it
But going ahead, Rossi. Talk about the best man as far as wait.
You know, gosh. Yeah, I get where he's coming from. You had the Black Pack, all of them together. They always did films together, but in The Best Man, to for someone as a female looking in, and you get to see black men, a romantic love story. Let's put it like that, a romantic love story, and the brotherhood of black men coming together for one of their homeboys' wedding. And so, you know,
Here's
at the time you didn't get to see a lot of that. You know, they didn't you didn't get to see black men in a setting like that.
no.
Can
And
y'all hear
so,
me?
and I
Can
think
you
there
hear
was
me?
like, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yep, go ahead.
Godly.
I tried to keep you going.
I have my phone blocked, airplane mode, and computers, and people want to bother me today. Okay,
It's okay.
I do apologize. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
So of course the film evolves around a marriage being taking place, and the best man of the film, years before his best friend was getting married to this lady, he slept with the woman in college, and he didn't know how to tell his best friend, so he wrote a book about it, and he was trying to tell him before the wedding happened. The reason the film was so powerful was because you didn't see a lot of films about black men
Yes.
being vulnerable and emotionally supporting each other.
Mhm.
Like with black films, it was always, and this is one thing that's negative about these kind of films that I'm going to bring up, but in black film, there was always comedic people and nobody taking themselves too serious, or they're hiding themselves in the conquest of women. In this film, Morris Chestnut was a faithful man, loved his wife, and was a Christian man and wanted to do right by his wife. And when he found out that his best friend had slept with his wife, he was so emotional. The entire once it was outed that that was the plot of the film, that plot point gripped you. And Morris Chestnut did the absolute best in showing anger and frustration. But the film also showed forgiveness and understanding, and black men who seemingly are overtly strong and masculine in films, showing I'm hurt, I'm sad, I'm lost. What do I do without you? Furthermore, the film probably spawned one of the greatest brotherhood songs in the history of R&B music, with a song called "What Can a Brother Do for Me?" Oh, Best Man I Can Be. and it was RL, Genuine,
Genuine, yeah.
Case, and Tyrese.
Yes.
So that song was so powerful to young black men at that time because everything was big clothes, grab your penis, rap
Yep,
music,
exactly.
conquer women. And now
Yep,
you have these four men saying, I'm hurt, I betrayed somebody, I don't
right.
know what to do, I don't want to lose my
Mhm.
friendship.
Yep.
So this movie encompassed all that. It also, I know I'm talking so much, I'm sorry guys,
No.
but but the film also encompassed um meeting yourself and being honest with yourself where you are at in your relationship or your marriage or your friendship. um so I would love to just take a moment and praise that film and speak about that film, The Best Man.
Okay.
Nice.
Here's the thing. I never seen the movie or anything, but I know. So I'm gonna have to check that one out. But just
Please.
from, but here's the thing. I do have to give praise to the film of how you're describing it, Josh, because of the fact of masculinity and stuff like that. Because as men, we were told you're not supposed to cry. You're supposed to be tough, and
Woo!
then it's inspiring to see other men to be able to be there for one another and saying, "Hey, look, it's going to be okay." You know what I mean? This is what I'm getting from it, from the way that you're saying, talking about it, Josh. And that's just something that I think that men needed to see back then too.
Yes.
Saying, "Hey, look, it's going to be okay. You need to. This is actually where we're going to meet you at. We need to go on ahead and figure out what to do and help you through this."
Right.
Yes.
Versus tearing down someone
Yeah.
at their
Which is
weakest
so easy
moment.
which is so easy to do.
Hmm.
And Rossi, correct me if I'm wrong.
Hmm.
I don't think I don't think Morris Chestnut's character ever admitted to his wife that he knew.
I don't think so. I don't think that he
Yeah.
did. I don't remember him
That was a
doing that.
secret kept between a couple people.
Right. And I also want to mention another thing about the movie is, Black men and Black women have this stereotype of being angry or upset or just mad all the time. I like the fact that this film showed we're not all the same. We have different personality. There is a group of Black men that are educated, well put together,
Hmm.
has a smile, can cry, can have a family, a son, can love, can do that. And I love that Best Men presented that because I needed to see that. Other people needed to see that. I wanted the world to see that there's another side. It's not always the hood. They live in nice houses, come from nice neighborhoods, go to college. I mean, there's so
Hmm.
much. And so I like that they showed that. And like you said, being vulnerable to each other, sharing secrets, just that whole brotherhood thing. I love that they showed Black men in that light. I really do.
Now, what I said before, and I'm thankful that you just brought that point up. That's the one thing opposite of you that I don't like in
Hmm.
films like this. This is the one, and it may be an unpopular opinion, but we're honest here.
Hmm.
This is the one. This is one of my biggest problems I have with Tyler Perry's cinematic universe. But I get bothered when looking at white films, Caucasian films, Black films. Um, it can never be us being happy with
Right.
modest lives. Like in the
Right.
Best Man Holiday, the Best Man Part Two, Best Man Holiday, there were like they're millionaires and big houses, and this person's a
Yeah.
lawyer and
Very
this
true.
person's a
Very true.
doctor. I always feel like we're written into perspective that
Yeah,
we got to be so rich and whatever to be
I get
happy.
that.
Like I I would love to see a film about Black people living modest, having regular jobs, nobody's getting shot. We don't have to raise money to save the community center. I would love to see that. I like for real. Like when you look at the barbershop, they had to come together because the
Yep.
barbershop was being bought out.
Right.
I
Or
haven't
Sister
seen
Act 2, whenever you had the community center for that as well.
they had to go. Like I just want I just want to see a Black love story or a Black comedy or a Black film where Black people are, this person's a school teacher and this person works at the gas station and they're happy. Like we don't have a version. Black people don't have a version of like dodgeball.
Right.
We
I
don't
get
have
that.
a version. We don't have a version where where nobody's gonna die.
Right.
Like even in Hardball with G Baby movies,
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
but why did G Baby have to get shot?
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Like,
Because if you
Yeah,
think about it like
yeah.
this, man, even though I like Hardball, I like it, but here's the thing: it doesn't do anything to Keanu Reeves' character to make him change or anything, because he
nothing.
was already transforming and changing to begin with. Whenever he stopped his gambling bets at that time and stuff like that too, all of a sudden it's like, okay, let's kill G Baby off.
Let's
Why?
just like Hardball. Hardball was on its way to being the urban version of the Mighty Ducks
Mhm.
Yes,
until
I can see that.
G Baby got killed. You look at
Right.
You Got Served, and I don't know if you guys seen You Got Served.
Yes, yeah.
Why was Marcus Houston and Omarion selling dope?
Right. Right. Right.
They could have been doing anything. They had them dancing in the rain and selling drugs for like it was a terrible plot point,
Oh,
a way to drive a plot. I so with the best man, the one thing that frustrated me was that's just the one thing. Like the one thing, like I would just House Party is another good one. And I know we're jumping all
yeah.
over the place, but this makes for great podcasting. But House Party was great because it was black teenagers
Mhm.
partying in a house they
Yeah.
weren't supposed to be in,
Yeah.
and they didn't want to let the bullies in the party. The
Right.
end. It was no
Right. Yeah, there's
drugs.
no yeah, yeah.
It's
And
just
kid was
alcohol,
trying to
people having
avoid
a
his
good time.
father. And kid was trying to avoid his father whooping his ass. That
Right.
was that's what made it so magical.
And it
So
also makes us feel like that we can get away with something, even though we know that we can't get away with something as
and
well.
and you're invested in a different way. Seeing
Mhm.
characters. So The Best Man, phenomenal story, one of my favorite movies of all time. I love the movie. I love it so much. I recommend it to anybody.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll
it's
check it
just
out.
hard. It's just hard to completely identify with it because me and my homeboys don't live in mansions,
Right. I get
and
that.
and and we're not going to rent out a $5,000 suite for a bachelor party. We gonna definitely be able to Howard Johnson or something.
Right.
And so that's the one thing I hope the writers of black cinema get away from is saying we're so successful. No, some of us are happy making $75,000 a year
Mhm.
and going home and our lights being on like that. We very happy. We're not miserable. But yeah, so that was that point.
Okay.
So I'm gonna. We talked about House Party a little bit.
Yep.
So let's see here. I want to talk about another one that I really enjoy watching every single time I turn on the TV. Well, if it's on Direct TV, I'm gonna watch it no matter what.
Mhm.
Or if it's on a streaming service, if I scroll through it, I'm gonna watch it. And I love Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking apple juice.
Oh my gosh.
Drink your juice in the hood.
Or drinking your juice in the hood. Now you can
Yeah.
tell I'm white whenever I'm trying to
Mm.
think of that.
That gotta be the clip.
Oh
Right
my
there.
gosh. Yeah.
That gotta be the
There you
clip.
go. Flip that.
Right in the South Central while drinking your apple juice. What?
That's
Come with
great.
apple juice.
That's
Right.
great.
I don't even think they drank apple juice the whole damn film.
No, they
Golly,
didn't.
John.
No.
But I still remember like the hurry up and buy with the Chinese lady.
Mhm.
Then I also like the other trope that they actually put in there is like they're making fun of boys in the hood, but it's like, oh, I'm pregnant. Then there's also the other thing too that they put in there is like, are you my now? What did we tell the nice man? And then it goes into
Are you my daddy?
daddy.
Right. Right.
But those little tropes made me laugh as well. Uh, but yeah,
I agree.
It was
I think,
all right for
I,
me.
I,
You know.
I think those lines held up a
it doesn't
mirror.
age well now compared to where it was once before. Now looking at it as an adult.
I think those lines held up a mirror to Black America at that time.
Mhm. Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
young pregnancies.
That's true.
Yes. True.
Statistically, because those
Yeah.
stats have completely changed now.
Yes.
Black men are doing great jobs as fathers, but statistically, black fathers were walking out.
Right.
There was a lot of unprotected sex. There was a lot of gun violence.
Right.
There was a scene in that movie where he went to jail for a second, and he was like, "Black man, if you kill a man and you do this, blah blah blah," and they was making fun of the movie South Central, where black men go to prison get found and become extremely intelligent from behind the gates.
Right.
I love that they called out like, don't wait to go to jail to read a book. Negro,
Right.
read a book right now. So I think they did I think they did a great job of attacking those tropes and implementing them. And I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off, John. I really like
Oh,
this this
that's
episode is
fine. I
fire.
like hearing your perspective though,
Those
because yeah,
Go ahead.
I
No.
like hearing your perspective because of the fact of the way things were back then and comparing them to now
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. You know how I always do strip away. I talk about the nostalgia factor. Then after that, I strip away the nostalgia. For me as an adult now, looking back on it, I'm not laughing as hard as I used to compared to when I was a teenager. And
Right.
whenever my friends are in the house with me and stuff, so I'm like, yeah, some of the dialogue does not age well or anything like that now compared to when I was a teenager.
Right.
It does not hold up as well. But I do like the fact that what you mentioned though too is like things have changed so much now to where you have successful black people as well and stuff. So that's something too that I have to say as that I really like as well.
I
You
just
know?
think in today's day and age, to do an Afro-American led spoof, the jokes wouldn't hit as hard because, and this is what's great about black cinema, and this is what's great about this podcast, because you have a black woman, black male, and Italian man leading the podcast. It's so much diversity that if you close your eyes, those jokes can be about y'all now, John.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And they did make one. It was called Mafia, which they made spoof movies on all Italian movies and Italian culture and stuff like
I gotta
that.
see that.
It's funny as hell, man. Like it
Yeah,
in the
but
90s. But
but
yeah.
now, but now the sex jokes, gun
Yeah.
violence, the being racially profiled, all those jokes can be made about every culture now.
Right.
That's the beautiful thing about growth and
Right.
and moving forward, that we spend so much time still being divisive that we don't understand, like, hey John, the stuff I'm going through, you could possibly be going through these things in a year or two.
Right.
The same exact stereotypes. What I was going to say a couple minutes ago was, one of the things I do think is missing is black cinema had phenomenal soundtracks. From that
Oh,
movie,
yes. Yes.
it was an R&B artist by the name of Joe.
Yes.
He had a song, All of the Places, All of the Things. And that song almost reached #1 on the R&B charts in the 90s
Right.
from that movie. So I really wished, and it's sad to say it, black cinema is almost dead. We're rushing things, we're putting things on Tubi now. When you think of black film directors, you think of Ryan Coogler. You want Ryan Coogler to direct everything now because he's black.
Yeah.
And he had a
Right.
couple
Or Jordan
successful
Peele
movies.
too. Right.
Who did you say?
Jordan
Or
Peele.
Jordan
Or
Peele.
would you say that
I'm
would
not.
you?
I'm not
I'm
really
not
sold
either.
on
I
Jordan
mean,
Peele.
but I was just wondering, like, would you put him on that same scale? Like, everybody wants a Ryan Coogler just as much as they want a Jordan Peele, because I've been seeing a lot of people say that too.
I don't even think Jordan Peele's in the same ballpark as Ryan
No,
Coogler.
he's
I
not.
think he's exceptional at buying properties, at buying film rights. I think he's exceptional at it. But yeah, because they attached Jordan Peele to a Marvel horror movie a couple weeks ago,
I
and the
remember
internet
seeing
went
it.
crazy. Huh?
I
You saw
remember
it?
seeing that article.
Yeah, and it went crazy. And I'm thinking in my head, what has Jordan Peele done good since Get Out?
Right.
That's
No,
just me. But yes, to stay on topic and subject,
sorry.
don't be a menace to society while drinking your apple juice in the hood. What was a phenomenal spoof movie, and they don't make those like they used to anymore.
Rossi, you can go if you want to. You can talk about your next one if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. I really loved it was between Waiting to Exhale, which everyone knows, but I loved Set It Off. Set It Off was one of my favorite films, all female cast. Jada Pinkett, she played Frankie. These women were great. You have Vivica A. Fox, and I can't think of the other ladies, but Queen Latifah, of course. from the start of the movie. First of all, when you saw the trailers for, Set It Off, couldn't wait to see it. At that time, that's when Friday, I think it already came out. Waiting to Exhale was out around that time, and we had Set It Off. What was so good about it was you have the story of I think it was 5 female young black women that were living in four, was it 4? Okay.
Yeah.
Living in the inner city. Frankie, who has a brother who she had worked hard for. I think their parents died. She raised them, worked hard for him, doing everything for him to go to college.
Everything.
He ends up the beginning of the film, he ends up getting shot. And that was her world. So they come up with this scheme, which is to rob banks to get out of the situation that they were in. And it's so funny because you go through the first bank robbery, the second bank robbery, it doesn't go that good. But as the movie goes on, it is just a great film. Queen Latifah's part, she actually gets to play herself,
Yeah.
She's you know what I mean? She gets to play herself, but she's such a great actress. And she was like doughboy of the group, you know what I mean? Like she was down, she was about it. And the way she went out in the film was similar to what Denzel Washington, when they shot her so many times, she takes a cigarette and it's like a badass scene. Everyone's watching because she wants
die like that.
To die like that, because she's giving she's trying to distract the police because Frankie's trying to get out of town. One girl had already died. I think Vivica had died. And the movie's just intense. And you're rooting for Frankie throughout the whole movie because she has dreams. She wants to do things after her brother died. Plus, remember, she fell in love with Blair Underwood, who was working at the bank. Who ended up finding out that she was the one that robbed his bank. This movie was so good. You could watch it today and enjoy it. And you talk about soundtracks. What an amazing soundtrack to this film. I mean, you had Brandy, you had yes, oh my gosh, yes. So the whole soundtrack was really good. You had R&B music, you had rap music. It was a good movie. I've seen it so many times and cry every time.
I think it was a phenomenal movie because of some of the reasons you named. Queen Latifah definitely got to play herself. Yes. So it addressed homosexuality in it, yes, in a very direct, head-on way. It also addressed, which is an uncomfortable situation for a lot of people, when times are hard and you're struggling and you're desperate. Jada Pickett's character had to sleep with the one character for money to get the money for her brother to go to college. So it addressed inner city prostitution.
That's right. Yes, that's right.
The main reason that they really started robbing banks was because the young lady in the group took her baby to work with them, and the baby broke something, and Child Protective Services were going to take the child away. So it addressed being a single mother, not being able to afford childcare. Yes. In the inner city again. It definitely addressed some things head on. And it addressed female friendship and the bond that women have, black women and women have together.
Right.
Like you said, I thought it was cinematically beautiful. I thought it was well written. I thought the soundtrack was amazing. I thought the dialogue wasn't sloppy and rushed. I love that the movie wasn't a 2-hour and 15-minute movie. They got right to the meat really fast, and we were able to identify. And it does have one of the greatest. John, what would you call that? Sacrificial scenes with Queen Latifah?
Yeah, about sacrificial scenes.
But it's another word. It's another word. Kamikaze.
Kamikaze.
Okay.
Yeah.
It has one of the greatest kamikaze scenes in Black cinema history, with her sacrificing herself for her friend's freedom.
Right. And I wanted to correct myself. Jada played Stoney. Vivica played Frankie. Queen Latifah played Cleopatra, and Kimberly Elise played Titi. All right,
Titi was the one with the baby.
And Titi was the one with the baby that got her baby taken away because she, took her to work. They were cleaning corporate buildings. And and the baby drank something, took the baby away. So they had to get the money to get TT's baby back. And that was the saddest scene, is when TT died, because you love TT. She was so childlike, just a really good mom, a really good person. And taking her out was just, it was so sad when she died.
But we
it was
needed
so
that
sad.
to happen. We needed
Yeah,
that to
yeah,
happen.
absolutely. Yes.
Because she became, that showed her love for her friends. But, and this is a plot hole. This is definitely a plot hole. What happens to her baby?
Right.
Like,
yeah,
she died. Now who takes care of the baby?
exactly. The state. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean, if she's taking a baby with her to go clean, obviously there's no childcare. Obviously, probably the father's not involved, and family's not willing to help out. So you don't, because in that case, they would have made sure she had someone. So that's letting us know she has no one. So she had to do this.
Yes.
So yeah. So then the baby would be,
Look at us rewriting history. John, how did you feel about Set It Off?
To be honest with you, I haven't seen Set It Off.
Oh,
John!
Hey, let me tell you this. Let me tell you about, since I'm wearing Back to the Future, let me tell you about something from my past, from my little boy brain that I had during that time. I remember seeing it on pay-per-view, like the advertisements of Set It Off and stuff like that, because I couldn't pass it, because I was always watching how before you could actually watch what's on what channel and stuff and just scroll, and you actually have previews. That's actually how I would get my grandmother to go ahead and go to the Blockbuster with me to go get movies, because I'm like, okay, that movie's out, I'm going to go ahead and get it from Blockbuster, not rent it from pay-per-view, because we couldn't afford it. But I haven't seen Set It Off, but it's on one of those things that is on my to-do list, because I was looking at Black History, right? Not Black History, but Black cinema. And I was thinking to myself, okay, what movies have I not seen, so I can add it to my list later on, so maybe I can actually do another one of these shows and give a different perspective. And plus, I also like the fact that I haven't seen everything, so it gives me a fresh eyes to be able to see something different, because I ended up reviewing Baby Boy for the first time.
That's right.
Like last year or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
And
you just seen Baby Boy?
Last year he did.
Yeah. It was my first time watching Baby Boy with Tyrese.
Yeah.
And this is what I said in my review, and I'll say this now. I said, if I was watching this as a teenager, I'd be like giving the middle finger to the boyfriend of the mother. Like, yeah, okay, Tyrese, kick his ass. Yeah, show him who's boss. Adult me is like, you're being a little pansy bitch. I was like, you need that to be laid out on the floor like that. You need to be crying like that. You think you know it all. You don't know it all.
You don't know nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. Exactly. So that's then also too, you also have him basically hustling the streets for clothes, and also too sleeping with somebody else while also having another baby. Then you also have Snoop Dogg coming in there as well, because you're sleeping with.
John, I'm glad we're talking about Black cinema, John, because as a Black man, John, it be like that sometimes, John. John, sometimes it just be like that. Sometimes your chick at home piss you off, and you know what I'm saying, you don't hit women, and you don't do that, and you just want to go outside, and she threatening you, and she probably cheating on you, so y'all cheating on each other, and y'all arguing outside the apartment, and people all in your business. And she drove him to do that. I ain't gonna say Tyrese is a villain in that movie, John.
No, he's not a villain, but he is a little punk. He's a pompous punk. I will say he's a pompous punk.
He ain't even pompous. You got to think.
But this is also what I said too. I said, but he goes from being from boys to men, basically, pun intended. But he goes from being this young adult guy that thinks that he doesn't have to worry about consequences, doesn't have to worry about anything, to all of a sudden that thing that happens that towards the end of it woke him up to the point of, okay, I only have one life to live. Anything can happen at any given moment. I need to stop doing what I'm doing. And then this is actually this is the thing that made me cry, man. Like, I cried when Tyrese comes in there and he has the gun, and then here comes the boyfriend, despite their differences, he still finds a way to protect Tyrese's character and wipes the fingerprints off the gun and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
It was
See
just
that,
that
and this is
emotional
why,
thing.
and this is why this is a beautiful conversation. Hearing a Caucasian male's perspective, because looking back at it, Tyrese should be in prison because he's an
Yep.
accessory to murder. Omar Gooding
Now you're
murders a
stripping away the
man.
nostalgia from me, even though I just see this like last
He
year.
should go to jail for murder. The dad is an accomplice because he has the murder weapon. He should go to jail for murder. Okay? Like, a lot of people should be in prison. Like, the way you just said, like, I just thought I cried because that was so beautiful. You cried that 3 people should be in prison for
I'm crying
murder.
because of a murderer. That's
Yeah, like, you like, this is, I understand. They, no, John, they're murderers, John. They should go to jail. Nah, nah, I feel you. I feel you. I feel you.
but
But back to Rossie, set it
Yes.
off, phenomenal.
Yes.
I do
Okay,
Absolutely.
want to take a minute here. Tamra ended up commenting about this. She said the Book of Clarence was packed with a list of stars with
the Book of Clarence was phenomenal.
yeah, Tatiana Taylor, and it only earned about 8 million at the box office. I think it's a great. She said that she thinks it's a great film.
The book, that's the one where what is his name plays a disciple, right?
I think so.
Yeah, the Book of Clarence where he plays a disciple.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
it is.
yeah. That movie was just marketed so poorly, and I'm gonna tell you
I didn't
why.
see it.
Because I wouldn't watch the movie because I'm a Christian man, and I try not to indulge in anything that's blasphemous. That's just me. And seeing the movie poster and seeing a couple of clips, I'm like, oh, this is blasphemy. They're making a mockery of Jesus and my faith or whatever. Once you get past the movie poster, not only is the movie extremely insightful, explains biblical points that a 10-year-old can understand. According to scripture, it's historically accurate. And it's phenomenally acted. I mean, like, phenomenally acted. I just think movie studios give movie goers a little bit too much credit, thinking that we can get past the cover, and sometimes we can't. So the Book of Clarence was phenomenal. I watched that movie last year. And recommended it to a few people.
I haven't seen it. I'll have to check it out.
I heard of it, but I haven't seen it either.
Yeah.
So
Imagine, have you ever seen the movie Year One?
yeah, I have.
It was terrible with Jack Black.
Yep.
Okay,
Sadly,
so
I have.
imagine Year One with a darker cast, with a more serious tone, but also comedic.
Okay.
It gives you enough biblical accuracy to be taken serious, but at certain points, it's light, so you don't get lost in it. It could have been a great series if they wanted it to, but it was a well put together movie, extremely well put together.
Okay.
My last movie, I went between 3 things, right? I went between, because I'm so goofy and I'm so light, but I went between Meteor Man, written, directed, and filmed by Robert Townsend, even at his movie studio, who was the first Afro-American with a filming studio before Tyler Perry.
Yes.
I went between that one, and I thought about where are my notes? I went between that one. Okay, it don't even matter. So I went between that one, but I decided on Above the Rim.
Oh yeah, yes.
Above the Rim, phenomenal cast. Tupac Shakur, Dwayne Martin, Marlon Wayans, Wood Harris, who's probably top 10 Black actors in cinema history, and to me, top 50 greatest actors of all time. It had Leon Robinson. To Black people, we just know him as Leon. Rossie would know him just as Leon.
Yeah.
Bernie Mac, Henry Simmons. It had just so many great characters. The movie was about inner city basketball, trying to make it out, trying to survive the struggles of everyday life in the hood. The other movie was Sunset Park. That's what I battled with talking about. Sunset Park. But Above the Rim, it was really gritty. It was a real story. Um, talk again, the movie addressed schizophrenia because Leon's character lost his best friend at the beginning of the movie. They were playing basketball on a rooftop,
Right.
and because of a bet, his friend fell off the roof. And Leon's character was supposed to be one of the best basketball players in New York City. And because of that, that derailed his basketball career. So he moved away, and people thought he lost it because he would have these reoccurring nightmares where they'll see him at a park playing one-on-one basketball with nobody with no ball in his hand.
Yeah.
So that was addressing medical condition of schizophrenia and depression. Dwayne Martin's character, best high school basketball player in the city, trying to get to college, being raised by a single mother, battling the he was battling the pulling of the streets because Tupac's character was a street guy, real gutter, paying high school players to play for his basketball teams, and he was offering the temptations of life. Basically, he was offering Dwayne Martin sex in high school and all these things. Bernie Mac was a homeless guy that knew the Leon character when they were in high school. He ended up getting murdered by Tupac.
Yeah.
Marlon Wayans' character wanted to fit in, so he was kind of bullied. End up, doing some things at the end of the movie that we would all regret. John would turn a blind eye to because he don't care about murder, clearly.
I should have been a lawyer at this moment.
And again, like me and Rossie's been saying this entire episode, the soundtrack to Above the Rim was phenomenal. Songs on that soundtrack charted. So the importance of music paired with black cinema has always been a thing. But I definitely think Above the Rim is a film that should be discussed when it comes to sports films, when it comes to dramatization, and when it comes to just understanding the inner city. This film had no drive-bys in it. This film had no women being taken advantage of in it. Guess what else this film didn't have? This film had no drug addiction in it. It solely battled single family dynamic and the pressures of being a person trying to make it from a impoverished area.
Right.
All right.
And I think, speaking of the soundtrack, we got one of the biggest songs at that time. It introduced us to Nate Dogg and Warren G with Regulators.
Yes.
You had that. If you loved SWV at the time, they had a song called, was it Anytime, Anything?
Anything. Yep.
Anything. Yeah. Anything. You had Snoop Dogg on it. You had Part-Time Lover, H-Town,
Oh my
H-Town.
gosh.
Oh my gosh.
H-Town, Part-Time Lover was in it.
Yeah, exactly. Tupac's Prada Little Liquor, which was on his Thug Life album. We talked about that, John.
Yep.
Just Just So You Know, Hoochies Need Love Too, I'm Still in Love with You, Crack 'Em. It has everything. It has everything on it. Best soundtrack, had it, loved it, and it's a classic movie. You can go and watch it and enjoy it today.
It's relevant today.
It really is.
And when you speak about black cinema, there's so much other cinema. So we just talking about black cinema. We don't have as many films, but a lot of black movies are timeless. The Best Man is timeless. Boys in the Hood, timeless.
Yes.
Above the Rim, timeless. Those things are happening right now.
Right.
That's why I love The Best Man happening today in somebody's relationship. That's
even
why I
Waiting
love
to Exhale. You know what I mean? That's a movie that you can watch today. You'll always have a girl group that you're with, and for Waiting to Exhale to come out, I love that movie.
I get so upset about Waiting to Exhale because my favorite cougar, Angela Bassett, was a villain. I don't like that she blew that man's car up.
I love that. See, for women, that was the best part because it showed women being strong. You're not going to take advantage of us. Like when she goes and has that affair when she cuts her hair, like it was just the best part of the movie was that,
And name a point, John, you're like a guest on our podcast today. I'm sorry, John. but Rossie, name a situation where Wesley Snipes is going to lay in the bed with a woman fully clothed, not have sex, go home and tell his dying wife, I didn't cheat, but I cuddled with Angela Bassett.
Yeah,
And,
I mean, yeah.
and his wife be like,
Yeah.
thank you. I love you.
And then she
No
croaks out.
woman's gonna go for that.
No, of course not.
No.
You
Absolutely
might
not.
as well do it. John,
Yeah,
have you ever seen
yeah.
Waiting to Exhale?
No.
Oh, you.
John, there's a scene
Like
where
I
she
said,
be-
I have some movies to catch up on. I have seen
John.
a lot of black cinema. I just haven't
You'll
seen
love it.
certain ones.
John,
So,
there's a scene where Wesley Snipes meets Angela Bassett at the bar after she goes through a divorce, whatever.
Yeah.
And instead of cheating on his old lady, he just spoons her all night.
no, that's still cheating, no matter which way you put it.
Nobody
Yeah.
gonna go for that.
You see,
Yeah.
I have
Tell
standards.
that
Yeah.
I'm against
I'm not
murders,
going for
but
that.
I'm against cheating. So,
Yeah.
You listen, you could tell that movie was written with a hurt woman in
Yes.
mind. Like I would want my man to almost cheat, but just cuddle because he respects me and you so much. Wesley, you was weak for that. You was lame for that.
Yep.
And Angela Bassett should have been taken down to that hotel room, and that's what it should have been. She blows up a car. Isn't that arson?
Yep, that's arson.
Yeah.
That's terrorism.
Yeah. But
Yep.
that
But
had
women
to happen.
praised her.
That had to happen. Yes, we all did. Yes, we
But
did.
y'all wanted the black man in the Tyler Perry movie who had cancer. Y'all wanted him to die because he didn't want our girl no more. See, John,
You
this
know.
is where black cinema get murky because these black women, they don't be playing in these movies.
No, they don't. That's what makes me scared, to be honest.
They want us to die. They be wanting us to die.
To be honest with you, that's why I joked around with my coworker and everything one time. She's black. She goes, "So, would you ever go out with a black woman or whatever?" And this is before I met Brandy. I said, "To be honest with you, I see how you get violent on the phone, and also too, I also seen a lot of movies. I know not, but you know." But that's just me and my coworker joking around. I said, "No, I see
Right.
how violent you are. Oh, you better go on
Listen.
ahead and take out that trash."
There's
I'm like,
listen.
no, I'm good. I'm right here. I don't need.
Listen. Nah, I can say this. Number one, those aren't movies you're watching black women documentaries. Those are warnings.
Well,
But
okay, those are the red flags I need to avoid.
but being a person that has experienced the rainbow, women are women. There is no
Yeah.
black
Right,
women are
exactly.
like this, white women are like this.
Yes.
John, I promise you, Brandy is the same as Rossie.
Oh, she is. She
When
got
they're
that.
upset. Like women
Yep.
are women. There
Yes.
is no black women have attitudes, white women have them, Latino women have them, Polynesian women have them, Asian women have them, women from Florida
Yep.
have them.
Yep.
So
Yes.
yeah, that's definitely a stigma that like needs to be like whatever. But I just completely left above the rim, and I don't give a damn. I hate Waiting to Exhale
That's
because
my thing.
it was so pro woman. And
Yes.
again, there is no male movie like that.
No.
Name one.
No, there isn't. I mean, a lot of people would say, best man, but it's
But it's
not.
not.
It's not. Just because there's an all male cast and all female cast, I do, agree. It's not the same. But for women at that time, for me being a young woman at that time, and to see my favorites, Loretta Devine, Whitney Houston, everyone wanted to see Whitney Houston.
It wasn't Robin Givens. Who's the other lady? She was in Boomerang.
Oh my gosh. There was some ladies that was in the film that was in Boom. I forget her name, but she was in it, and she was the really pretty one that was dating the rich man, and she was the woman that you had to do something for her in order to go out with her on a date.
Yes.
Whitney Houston was like a newscaster or some type of journalist, I believe.
Leah Roch.
Layla, yes.
Layla Rashawn.
Yeah.
Layla, beautiful Layla, yes. But for women, it's particularly Black women at that time, it was just so nice to have a movie where it's all of us together and you get to see how we are, the dancing scene when they're having that sleepover, the conversations, I've seen it so many times. I never get bored of that movie. And I get that, certain scenes can come off, with Angela Bassett, burning up the man's car. Normally we burn your clothes, not your car,
She
but I
snatched
mean,
his
you know what I
clothes.
mean? We don't blow the car up. We'll burn up your favorite Jordans, your favorite clothing. We will do that. I haven't, but it has been done.
What's wrong with just saying, no, I'm upset? Why do you gotta hurt our stuff?
Because it's you do something dirty like that, you cheat on me like that. For us women, it's in order for me to feel good, I'm gonna have to. I'm not gonna take you, but I have to take something that you love. And we know you men love your sneakers, your clothing, you love that.
But men never do that to women, ever.
Of course, because we're emotional, we're irrational at times. You know what I mean? Now, you know what I mean? And when we're irrational, we do something, and then once it's done, we're like, oh, gosh, that didn't give me the feeling I wanted. Now I might be in trouble. Now I might go to jail. Now
You're going to jail.
Now I got to get out of it. Now I got to get out of it.
If a woman cuts any of my stuff up, breaks a PlayStation, cuts some shoes up, flat my tires, you are going to jail.
Yes.
I am telling the police on you twice. I would love let's make this clip go viral. We're gonna clip this clip. Okay. I don't care if you're Caucasian, Latino, Black American. I want to see a film. I want to see Black cinema film. I want to see Black cinema film about Black men getting their stuff cut up or cars, and we sit in the one. It'll be a great comedy. We getting together and say, you know what? I left that relationship. That lady broke some of my shit. They are going to jail. I would love to see a film about putting women who broke our stuff in jail. That'd be a great, and our lawyers are all going to be represented by women. Oh my God. I just want $1 billion film. Men, we need this film. We need it.
That's great. I love that, Josh.
So I'm just going to name one more and then we'll wrap it up. But A Thin Line Between Love and Hate with Martin Lawrence.
Yes. I'm happy you mentioned that, John. Yes.
Because I remember as a teenager and everything, I still remember the opening scene whenever the steam is coming from the shower and he's wiping it. He goes, I'm a sexy motherfucker. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, as a teenager, I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And
then cast. Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
And then he winds up cheating on this one businesswoman.
He didn't cheat.
Well, played her.
He was single.
Yes.
Yeah, he was playing the field. And he winds up.
He met the right one. He met the right one. Sorry, John. Go ahead.
Yeah, he ends up meeting the right one. But then he winds up doing the one thing that he said he would never do is tell a woman that he loves her. Right. So he tells the businesswoman who's rich and has it all together that he loves her, while the other girl who he's been loving since high school,
right?
She winds up coming back into town because she's in the military, and he winds up wanting to be with her instead of the businesswoman. Then next thing you know, the businesswoman is pissed off at him because he left her for the woman that he was been wanting to be with, and then he winds up,
Yeah, he wanted to be with Regina King, and Lynn Whitfield was the older woman that that was the crazy one. Like you're not getting away. She played that part so good.
She took the guy's tires off while in the police station.
She brought me down to the police station. He sits in the car. I can't go nowhere, man.
That's why I'm counting it back over to what Josh said about woman breaking her stuff. She ended up doing it right in the police station.
Yes. Yes.
So
just to see how scared he was. I mean, Martin Lawrence playing scared is great. He's hilarious. But how he was paranoid. He was paranoid of her, and he deserved that for what he was doing. Remember he was opening up that nightclub too, and his friend was Bobby Brown. Remember Bobby Brown was his best friend.
Rossie might be a little toxic.
I'm not. I promise you I'm not. I'm actually a very demure woman. My husband, he does not play that, but I'm known to go off, not gonna lie, but not like that. Like I would never, my husband would not go for breaking TVs. Like it does not go on.
I think A Thin Line Between Love and Hate needed to be made because at that time you had Fatal Attraction,
Yep.
Yes,
you
that's
had
right.
Basic Instinct,
Yep.
and then you had the Lifetime of like The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. So you had the obsessive movies, but the main character were Caucasian women, right? So
Right.
I love you too. So the main character were Caucasian women, and to see a black man play with a black woman's heart on camera. And in that case, I love the fact that they made the young lady successful and
Yes. Yeah.
not mean the man. And again, she
Yep.
didn't want to be bothered. She said, "You came bothering me."
Exactly. Yes.
Yep.
So she
She
was
He was
did.
the one who
okay.
was, yeah, he was the one who was trying to spit that game to her and
Yes.
stuff.
So to see a black woman play psychotic but keep it
Yes.
together, I do think it was a break, especially for Caucasian women saying, "Oh my gosh, here go another movie about us putting rabbits in pots and hanging out your house and wearing your wife's clothes. Let's see the sister do it." And when the sister finally did it, Lynn Whitfield, she played the scene phenomenal,
Yes.
and she told him, "Don't tell me you love me if you don't love me." And when he
She
said he
did.
loved him, she warned him.
She did. She really did. He had many warnings,
Yep.
but him being him had to conquer that. He had to have that. And just like you said, her being rageful was something that was just unseen. She did a great job, and just seeing his response, her showing up to his house, her
I support
finding
it.
out
Yep.
everything about him. He was
Oh,
scared. He was
listen,
scared.
You
I'm
should be.
41 years old, and
I was
I
scared
will
for
say
him,
this.
but
I'm 40 at 41. This is probably the most toxic thing I'll say ever in my life. I want somebody to be that crazy over me. Like, I want to go see my mama and she in there going through the photo album like, "Josh, you are not going to leave me, Josh." Like, "Josh, listen, we fighting, we beefing. I cussed you out.
Mm-mm.
I said I'm done, Negro. You not leaving me, Negro. You here. You ain't leaving. It ain't no end of
Wow.
us. This is forever." Like
Oh
that
my gosh,
movie, I
Josh.
believe I was 12 or 13 when that movie came out. Cause that was what,
Dang.
95, 96.
Dang.
yep.
So I was young, but I always wanted that love because if you say you love somebody, you love them. And if
Yeah.
I say it, I love you. And I definitely want somebody to like choke me and take my wheels. What I'm
Mm.
saying is don't take my wheels off my car and leave me. No, take my wheels off my car because you don't want me to leave.
Oh
Like,
my
put a
gosh.
brick through my window because you don't want me to leave. Don't do it after we broke up for real. That's all I'm saying. But a thin line,
Mm-mm.
oh, and John, you might have some brother in you. Um,
John chuckles.
I want to be in danger. I want to be in danger. And a thin line between love and hate. Again, this movie spawned one of the biggest R&B songs in probably music history with A Thin Line Between Love and Hate by
Yes.
Yes.
H
H-Town.
Town. H Town.
Yep.
Yes. Yes, that's
So,
right.
after having these conversations today, I realized, um, and I'm going to say this candidly, Black cinema may be on a respirator right now. It may be dying because I can't think of 10 films in the last 5 years that are considered black cinema that are speech worthy. We got Sinners, you got Get Out from 10 years ago. Um, they tried to force Us on us, which I just didn't, whatever.
Yeah.
You got Black Panther, which was a Marvel movie. It's a
Yep.
comic book character. When it comes
Right.
to original films and representation, I don't see a lot of films that I'm like, you know what? That was a great black film.
Right.
So unless it's Tyler Perry, and I think Tyler Perry has cornered the market to
Yeah.
where we'll accept almost anything.
Mm.
But we don't have a thin line between love and hate. We don't got a best man. We can't name it
Right.
above the rim. We
Right.
don't have a damn set it off. And
Right.
you mean
Yes.
I think just one of those days with who was it? SZA, and it just came out last year or 2 years ago.
Right.
But that was a cool comedy. But
Right.
instead of getting movies like that, we're gonna get Rush Hour 4.
Yeah. Right.
So
No.
so I'm definitely not happy with where black cinema is right now, and I'm a supporter of movies and theaters and things like that. But as
Right.
far as where it's at right now, if Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan ain't on it, if Jonathan Major's not involved, do we have great films? Creed, all three Creeds were phenomenal to me,
Right.
but they're 3 years, 4 years apart.
Right. And what about Love Jones? You know what I mean? Love
The
and
Inkwell.
Basketball. You know what I mean? Remember those movies? We don't have those. And Love Jones
Dead
was a
Presidents.
great film at the time. You know, was it Inkwell? You know, films
That's
like
it, yeah,
that. You
Inkwell.
know, yeah, films
How
like
Stella
that. You
got her
don't.
groove back.
Yes, exactly. Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But you notice all of that cinema was packed into one place. The moment,
Yes.
and this is a conversation we're gonna have in front of John. The moment the internet allowed long form videos, I feel as a black person, we accepted anything.
Very true.
We don't
Yep.
hold ourselves to a certain standard
Right.
where other movie studios do, and black people, we will line up in theaters for a retelling of a slave film.
Right. Oh
Somehow
my gosh. Right. Exactly.
we line up in droves to
Yes.
be told about Harriet Tubman or
Yes.
Nat Turner, which was pushed out of the movie theaters. But
Right.
I would really like to see a black Kill Bill. I would really
Yes.
love.
That'd
I
be
would really
awesome.
love. I would love to see a black led excuse me, a black led Usual Suspects type film.
Yes. Absolutely. Yes.
I want to see, I want to see these films, but we're trying to get famous and not work
Yeah.
together and
Yeah.
push our own whatever. So I I think black cinema is definitely in trouble. Um, I don't see a resurgence within any time soon.
Right.
And the films we brought up today were timeless, great, well written, well acted, well conveyed films.
Right.
So I don't know. Here's hoping.
Absolutely.
I agree, 110%. But guys, tell us after the show, what are your favorite movies from black cinema? What is your experiences like watching some of these movies that we mentioned? Or if it's something that we haven't mentioned and that you would like us to mention, let us know as well, because we'll be glad to do this again some other time as well. Or we can just geek out with you in the comments and everything after the show on the rewatch. But that's going to be it as far as this goes. Josh, thank you so much as usual
you,
for
Josh.
joining us. Thank
For
you.
sure. I love it. I love y'all. Y'all be great. Please get these clips so we can make this go viral, because we got to do it again.
Trust me, we'll
Yes.
get these clips ready. Trust me.
Thanks
Later.
to everyone that came in the comment section,
Yes,
you guys.
yes,
Thanks
thank you.
for interacting with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Joey. We do appreciate that so much. You guys are great. You're the reasons why we keep doing this every single day. So that's going to be it as far as this show goes. I hope everyone has a blessed weekend. I will be back again with It's Not That Bad podcast coming up this Tuesday. We're going to be reviewing Demolition Man. We're going to be learning about what to do with those 3 seashells. So that's going to be it as far as this goes. Is there any announcements that you want to make or anything, Rossie?
Yes, you guys. I have on Rossie's Clubhouse. You guys go subscribe. Follow Rossie's Clubhouse on YouTube, on Spotify, on well, it's not going to drop on Monday, but I have a artist out of Sacramento, Joel Goulet. He's going to come on the show. That interview will be dropping soon. We have Kai that will be dropping soon. Tech Trade interview will be dropping soon as well. And Joshua Flores, the director, writer, actor in the movie Bliss, that interview is going to drop as well too, you guys. So, and John and I will have a review of Bliss coming soon.
Okay. Well, guys, that's going to be it. Have a great, safe weekend, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Later.